History and evolution of cinema, from the first moving image to the digital age. Cinema is one of the most influenced and cherished art form in modern society, and its evolution has been remarkable from its early days to the present. Over more than 100 years, cinema has gone from being a simple technological novelty to multi-million-dollar industry, impacting culture, entertaining, and educating millions worldwide. From the first screening by the Lumiere brothers to the stream platform, cinema then experienced a series of transformations that reflect both technological advancement and change in audience taste and expectations. The early years, the birth of cinema, the history of cinema began at the end of the 19th century. The Lumiere brothers, Auguste and Louis, are generally considered the pioneers of cinematography. In December of 1950, they presented their cinematograph in Paris, project a series of short films showing scenes of everyday life. This screening was the first public cinema event, marking the beginning of the new form of entertainment. However, in its beginnings, many viewed cinema has a pacing fat, unable to force the profound cultural impact it would have in the future. The silent film era. During the early decades of the 20th century, silent film dominated the industry. Actors and directors developed a unique visual style, rich in expressive, and there was no sound. Charles Chaplin, one of the most representative figures of silent cinema, created character and situation that become iconic, such as his famous Charlotte the Tramp. Chaplin, along with the other artists of the time, like Buster Keaton and Harold Lloyd, used the absence of sound to create physical comedy based on exaggerated gestures and action. The 1920s also saw the creation of the first film studios in Hollywood, California, a region that would later become the world movies capital. Studios like Paramount, Universal, and Warner Bros. Established the studio system, in which actors and directors signed exclusive contracts, leading to what known as the Golden Age of Hollywood. The introduction of sound, a revolution in the industry. The 1927 cinema underwent one of the most important changes with the arrival of sound. The Jazz Singer, the first sound film, revolutionized the industry and permanently changing the way films were made. With sound, dialogue music, and sound effects become crucial storytelling tools. This opening the door for screenwriters to create more complex dialogue and for actors to portray character with generate emotional depth. The transition to sound was not easy for all actors and directors, as many were accustomed to the visual style of silent film. However, this new technology allowed for the rise of genre like musical and film noir, and also solid Hollywood as the undisputed leader of the film industry. The golden age of Hollywood and the rise genres during the 1930 and the 1940 cinema experienced a golden age. Major studios produced film on large scale, and film genre began to take shape. Western, gangster film, romantic comedy, and horror film become popular formats, each with its own conversation and star. This era was also marked by World War II, a conflict that deeply affected both the production and content of film. Propaganda cinema and the war film reflect the mood of the time and held most public moral. In this era, iconic figures like Humphrey Bogart, Katharine Hepburn, James Stewart, and Betty Davis cap- captivate audience, while directors like Alfred Hitchcock and Orson Welles innovated with narrative and visual techniques, bringing great artists completely to cinema. Films like Citizen Kane and Gone with the Wind remain considered masterpieces, reflecting the level of creative reached in those years. Colors, color films, and the competition from television. Technological advancement continues of the 1950s with the popularization of colors with ultra color with films had extended before. It was in this decade that color became standard, largely due competition with television, which was gaining popularity in homes to attract audience back to theaters. Studios invest in the epic field in Technicolor like Ben-Hur and the Ten Commandments. Film from this period used color to create rich visual experience which was difficult to match on black and white television screen. The modern age of cinema, special effects, and blockbuster. With the arrival of the 1970s, cinema underwent another transformation. The development of advanced special effects allowed for the creation of worlds and characters that were previously unimaginable. Films like Star Wars and Jaws inaugurated the blockbuster era. High budget films that attracted massive audience and generate extraordinary revenue. This type of cinema became a hallmark of Hollywood, establishing the franchise model that continues to this day. Digitalization and contemporary cinema. The digital evolution of the 1990s and 2000 marked another turning point in cinema history. With the introduction of digital camera, film production became more accessible and many directors began experience with new visual style. Additionally, digital special effects allowed for scenes that were previously impossible, as seen in films like Jurassic Park and The Matrix. Today, cinema continues to evolve with streaming platforms like Netflix, Amazon Prime, and Disney Plus, changing how content is consumed. While theater cinema remains popular, streaming allows users to watch movies and series anytime, anywhere. This has created a new dynamic in the industry where studios compete to release their production directly to the public. Question and answer. 1. Why was the arrival of sound so important to cinema? The arrival of sound was crucial milestone transforming how stories were told in cinema. Before this advanced actor relied solely on facial expression and body language. With the sound, dialogue, music, and sound effect become central elements enrich the cinematic experience. 2. How did television affect cinema and the 1950s? Television forced studios to innovate. Color film and widescreen normal were introduced at strategic to attract people back to movie theaters, offering an experience that television could replicate at the time. This reinforced cinema has an exclusive visual experience and motivate the creation of major production. 3. What impact did 1970 cinema have on the industry today? The 1970s introduced the concept of blockbuster and franchises, which dominate today film market. Additionally, directors like Spielberg and Lucas innovate with special effects, setting a precedent for modern high-budget production. 4. How does the golden age of Hollywood differ from the contemporary industry. During the Golden Age, studios controlled the entire creative and commercial process. Today, digitalization and streaming platforms have given creators more freedom, and control is no longer monopolized by few studios, by diversity across many platforms and styles. 5. Who has digital technology impacted contemporary cinema? Digital technology has made cinema more accessible for creator and audience alike. From digital camera to advanced visual effects and streaming, it has changed who and where movies are viewed and has allowed filmmakers to experience, view, and present visual narrative.